This unit concludes with a couple of case studies, one from consumer marketing and the other from the business-to-business sector. The American brand Away are in the smart luggage sector, and the smart luggage sector is that part of the market where the practical ordinary suitcase has been replaced with stylish ergonomic smart luggage with interesting colours and features like built-in USB ports and GPS tracking. They launched in 2015 and in the first 3 years sold over 500,000 cases. Their revenue in the first year reached $12 million and they started making a profit in year 2. They grew at a quite amazing rate of 500% between 2016 and 2017. And if you express this growth in terms of number of employees, they grew from 4 employees to nearly 200 employees in 2.5 years. They raised funding of $2.5 million to launch the company in 2015 and secured $80 million of venture capital funding by the end of 2018 to fund future expansion. The launch of the company appears to have been driven by one of the simplest of all marketing strategies, identifying a gap in the market. The story, according to an article on the Brandwatch website, is that the company's co-founder Jen Rubio needed to buy a new case to replace the one that had recently burst open at Zurich Airport. She found plenty of high-end, really expensive aluminium cases around $1,000 and plenty of $50 cases in places like TK Maxx, but very little in between. After developing their first prototype, the company conducted user testing, created focus groups and collected survey responses from around 800 people. In 2015, Away launched into that mid-market gap they had identified, with a direct-to-the-public online brand. You could buy an Away 22-inch tall, unbreakable polycarbonate carry-on case in a choice of 9 colours, with combination lock, built-in battery for recharging your devices, a 100-day free trial and a lifetime warranty for under $250. The company's direct-to-the-consumer model, that is, not selling through retailers, means they don't have to factor in retailer margins into their price calculations. This means they can, perhaps, produce a better quality product at under $250 than the manufacturers who sell through retailers, and they can make a higher margin. So, how did they achieve this really phenomenal success in such a short space of time? First of all, a quote from Away's co-founder Jen Rubio. "The difference between a good product and a good brand is emotion. And no matter how much work we put into creating an amazing product, any big player can replicate it overnight." So, an understanding here that designing a good product, even one which will fill a clear gap in the market, on its own isn't enough. And even if they can produce a product with clear functional improvements, the competition will soon catch up. Away's first marketing initiative was not a big awareness-creating advertising campaign. Interestingly, it was a high-quality book called The Places We'd Return To. They reached out to 40 or so photographers, influencers and travel writers and asked them to create interesting content for the book. 2,000 copies were produced and sold, and each one contained a gift card for a free suitcase. So, an interesting sales promotion here, which encouraged product trial and got Away luggage into the hands of people who could hopefully create some interesting user-generated content to share with their online followers. Away's stable of influencers today includes people the company describes as trusted, young, well-travelled Instagrammers. They regularly post content, interesting content showing Away products in interesting locations. They followed this up with the launch of a magazine in 2017 called Here, and a podcast called Airplane Mode. So a really interesting integration here of online digital media and offline print media. We should keep in mind as well, these were not magazines and podcasts talking about suitcases and travel luggage or telling people how good Away products are. This is interesting aspirational content, talking about the joys of travel, the coolest destinations in the world, and sharing the memorable experiences of the interesting travel-savvy people who buy Away products. Away describe Here magazine as something which contains compelling, thoughtful and unique travel stories through the lens of local, creative and influential people. Speaking again on the Brandwatch website, Jen Rubio characterised traditional luggage marketing as being about the wheels and the zippers and the functionality. In contrast, she says that Away's luggage appears in stories and photographs of customers' actual lives. So a guy in Ray-Bans resting his foot on an Away case while he waits for his flight, or a young woman sitting on her Away case on a Parisian sidewalk. Away's marketing is about storytelling. It's about lifestyle and travel and interesting but real people doing interesting things. And nothing to do with who made the zips or the durability of the wheels or the strength of the combination lock. They're building a lifestyle brand and not just bombarding their audience with facts and figures and product specifications. Now Away describe themselves as a global lifestyle brand, designing thoughtful objects to make travelling more seamless. So in branding terms, far more than a company that just makes suitcases. Away put a lot of emphasis on user-generated content, not just relying on their marketing department to populate their social media channels. For example, in February 2017, 325 pieces of user-generated content produced 4.5 million impressions through Instagram. They are working continuously with Instagrammers and travel bloggers and other influencers. And some of these people have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers, so a really big potential audience to engage with. Apparently, Away don't pay for any social media posts, but they do provide free cases to the right people. Today, Away have a very active Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Pinterest account, populated with user-generated content and their own content. They now have their own stores in New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Chicago, Boston and London. Their product range has expanded slightly to include wash bags and day packs, garment and duffel bags. But what happens next? Away's approach does raise some questions. There is still quite a limited product range. Luggage is an infrequent purchase, something that a lot of people buy once every 20 years. And if the frequent travellers, who may well wear out their luggage sooner than the average traveller, if they can just replace what they have under Away's lifetime guarantee, then maybe most of the repeat purchasers will just be the people whose luggage has been lost, stolen or damaged. And when their core market of travelling millennials becomes saturated, there won't be many new customers either. So what happens next? The company has to diversify. In an interview with Adweek, Away's co-founder said, "You can't build a long-lasting brand if you're only looking at millennials in coastal cities." And she added that Away has got fans among the retired crowd. So perhaps a clue here of one possible new market for Away luggage. Jen Rubio also gave a hint of what might happen next in an interview on the Retail Dive website. She said, "Our goal is to make the perfect, most thoughtfully designed version of everything you need for travel. We're continuing to listen to our customers to let them help us determine what to do next." Away experimented with a pop-up hotel in Paris, which is a venture into what is becoming known as experiential retail, or retailers thinking beyond the convention of retail stores and online shopping. It will be interesting to see what Away do next, but clearly they will have to do something before too long.